KUSI's Michael Turko is still investigating why it took so long for CAL FIRE to mount a major aerial assault on the wildfires.
Turko now has information on the response from CAL FIRE in the first 2 days of the fires.
When it comes to fighting these fires from the air, CAL FIRE's initial response can only be called sluggish. The fires broke out on Sunday, but they didn't get serious about using helicopters until they got their own planes in the air sometime Tuesday morning. And now I've uncovered more evidence that there were helicopters ready to go from day one, but many of them never got used. County Supervisor Ron Roberts has been working on this issue behind the scenes since the Cedar fire.
Going back to 4 years ago, I honestly thought all of this stuff was behind us. And then it became clear over the first couple of days of the fire that we were getting what I consider to be a real runaround.
On Monday, when CAL FIRE officials insisted it was too windy to fly helicopters, the Navy had 2 of them in the air. The pilots told me they had no reservations about flying. And I've now learned that San Diego Fire's Copter 1 was making water drops on the fires Sunday night and all day Monday.
The helicopter flew over 9 hours that day, and according to my crews, dropped between 90 and 100 drops there and around the structures. In fact, we're credited with several structure saves. As fires were just beginning on rooftops and fences, they would swoop in and knock the fire down, and literally were credited with dozens of structure saves.
They also flew injured CAL FIRE firefighters to the hospital.
Yes, it was very windy, but yet it was not unsafe. Our pilots would not fly if it was unsafe.
6 more Navy choppers were on standby, but they were grounded when CAL FIRE insisted their own spotters had to fly in each plane.
There's a very small core group of people that are trained to that standard. We're trying to get them in as fast as possible.
KUSI's Turko Files has now learned that 5 helicopter manager spotters were right here, employed by our own fire department.
We have 5 interagency qualified helicopter managers.
Were these guys ever called up by CAL FIRE?
We never received a request for our helicopter managers.
At the spotters that they said were required to be on those military aircraft, we had at least 5 of them sitting here in San Diego, and they never contacted them to activate them.
And there's more. The city's Copter 1 can fly firefighting missions at night. So can some of the military helicopters. And get this, they've worked together before, several days into the Cedar fire back in 2003.
Copter 1 led those 4 Navy helicopters throughout the city on initial attack, working on hot spots, and we were able to work them without spotters.
How well did those military pilots do?
Very, very good pilots. We were impressed by how well they integrated, how well they communicated, and how well they hit their targets.
Now get this, if the city of San Diego wants to use military choppers to fight fires right here in San Diego, they can't just call the military and ask. That request has to go through CAL FIRE. County Supervisor Ron Roberts says he'll take up all of these issues directly with the governor as soon as possible. I'm Michael Turko, only on KUSI News.
A good weekend for the Chargers.